Hello, I'm Marty Sutton, and I'm standing here in a store in my town in Sarajevo, Bulgaria, and it's got all kinds of things that are common here, kind of traditional things from the Bulgarian culture. And I want to share with you about a question that I get quite a lot. Often I'm asked, "You're not from here, are you?" When I grew up in Ohio, I had a Cincinnati accent. My cousins from Northern Ohio told me that I had a Southern accent. When I moved to the South for college, I was called a Yankee because I had a Northern accent. When I went back north, they said I'd picked up a Southern accent. And then I moved out of the country, and well, I'm just a foreigner. I've always got an accent. I was in a store the other day, and a girl asked me, one of the girls that work in the shop says, "Excuse me, where are you from? I don't recognize your dialect." And I said, "Well, honey, that's not a dialect, that's an accent." I said, "I'm an American." And she laughed, and she said, "Well, I wasn't sure because you don't look like an American." And but anyway, wherever I go, I don't sound like I'm from there. I always sound like somebody from somewhere else. Because now, even if I go back home, I sound a little different. I have been around a lot of British and Australian friends, New Zealand friends. I picked up their words, and sometimes I use their words instead of typical American words for things. And so I always just get that question. The way I sound never quite fits in. You know, in Hebrews chapter 11, the writer of Hebrews is talking about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Sarah, and said that they realized they were strangers and pilgrims in another land, in another country. He said they knew where they were from, but they were looking for a city whose builder and maker was God. Peter says in 1 Peter chapter 2, I believe, that we need to remember that we are strangers and pilgrims, and that we're not to be distracted by the things of this world, because really we're not from here. We are living in the world, but we're not of the world. We're from a different place. We have a different way of thinking. We have a different accent. We sound different. We should sound different. Maybe right away we don't look different to people, but when they talk to us, they're going to sense that there's a difference. So how is it with you? When people are around you, do they ask themselves, what's different about them? What's the difference in the way they talk? What's the difference in the way they respond? What's the difference in the way that they react? The way that we walk, the way that we talk, the way that we respond, the way that we love should be a way that always shows that we love Christ and that He loves us. He's in our lives. And so we don't always fit right in. They might like us. I've been in Bulgaria for 10 years. I speak Bulgarian, but I have an accent. And I will never, ever, as long as I live here, I will never sound like a native Bulgarian, because I'll always have an accent. It'll always, my speech will always give away that I'm not from here. And as Christians, our speech ought to always give away that we are not of this world. We're in this world, but we're not of it. We're not of it. Let our speech be sprinkled with salt and be a blessing to others. Thank you.